Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this tutorial. So first things first, you already know, we're gonna start with the melody. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bring out a piano. Alright, so I just opened up Honest here because I have the Keyscape library with it. If you have Keyscape, you can just go ahead and open that up. And from here, I'm just simply going to lay down some chords. So I'm just gonna go into the E Aeolian scale by going to the drop down and helper scale highlighting. I'm just gonna right click right here and we already have it at Aeolian. So I'm gonna start with the bass notes first, and I do have the BPM set to 140. After this, I'm just gonna start creating the chords on top, starting about E5. And what I pretty much just do is just follow this little pattern technique, which is I click in on a highlighted note and I skip a highlighted note. And from there, you'll just pretty much create a chord. Really simple. So now I'm just gonna layer it up with some guitars. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up Contact. So with Contact, you gotta buy Contact in order to use these Orange Tree Samples guitars. Orange Tree Samples has a variety of guitars from Evolution Modern Nylon, and I also like using the Evolution Flat One bass, but for this video I will be using the Evolution Modern Nylon, and it does emulate the guitar sound and does it pretty well. So it is pretty much my go-to guitar, and I'm just gonna set it to elegy from here on the preset. And from here we can start laying down some melodies, staying within the scale. I'll make sure I go to the typing to keyboard because I have my keyboard set to Aeolian, C Aeolian. So I'm just gonna set it to layout piano. I'm gonna make sure that I have this to C5 so I have some higher notes. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and record it, so make sure you have your recording on. I have it set to 3, 2, 1, which is the countdown, and I'm gonna set metronome on just so I can know that I'm on beat. So now from here, I'm gonna go into Contact, and I'm just gonna see if I can go to the setup quick and just get rid of the legato. So I'm just gonna set this to disabled. So now I'm just going to push Alt-C on Contact just so I can have a different guitar. So I can have one going on right ear, one going on left ear. Now I'm just going to quantize by pushing Control Q. And make sure that you do have it to like fourth of a beat. I have it on half step, so it's not really being quantized very well. Control Q, and now you see that all the notes go on to where they should be in their little squares. Alright, so from here, I guess I'll just start laying down the drums, and this part is just pretty much easy once you guys get the hang of it, because the claps go in the same spots all the time. Now just go ahead and add the kick. Now stop the recording and just quantize the notes, Control Q. And if you guys see how I just pretty much zoom, I just push Control and double click, or if you have a mouse, just right click and it'll just zoom to where your notes are. And now let's go ahead and add the bass. So with the bass, we're just gonna follow along with the bass notes that we did for the piano. Actually, the bass notes were down here. Now we're gonna bring it back up, Control up to bring him up in the right octave. And make sure that you guys do click cut itself on the 808, or you guys can just bring down the attack. You guys can bring out everything actually right here besides the hold. And now I'm just gonna push Control Q and I'm gonna start putting the bass where the kick goes. And I'm just gonna bring this 808 down one octave just so we could have a switch up. And then Alt L to lengthen all your notes. Now I'm just gonna push Alt C on Omnisphere because I pretty much want to use that same VST, and all Alt C does is just clones your channel, so now you have it here. And it's good to always have shortcuts, that way your workflow can just be a lot faster. So from here I'm just gonna go into one of my Omnisphere banks. I'm probably gonna go with a black Omnisphere bank and just browse through my pads. Like I already have one in mind, but let's see how it sounds. Actually it's on black space. Now what we're gonna do is Control C to copy the melody, the chords, and paste it onto the pads. Now the last thing would be to just add a open hat. And now I'm just gonna go into the guitar melody and push Alt L just to lengthen them all. And the same thing for the the guitar, and now they're all lengthened. And I guess if you have arcade, you guys can also add some vocals if you guys want. But yeah, if you guys don't have arcade, you guys can go ahead and just leave it the way it is, or find some other vocal chops. I'm just gonna leave it like this. So for now, I'm just gonna start renaming everything and get it ready for a mix. I just color them and make sure that you have them all highlighted if you want to get them into the mix. And from here, we'll just go into the mixer tracks and push Ctrl-Shift-L just so they're all here. And from here, just highlight them all, drag them down, and start quickly mixing. Only thing I won't do, you already know, is I'm gonna add the Studioplug official master. But if you guys do want to watch a mixing and mastering video, you guys can go ahead and watch my tutorial on that. Anyways, I'm gonna start picking them all up one by one, as well as EQing. Alright, so I'm using my laptop, so things are going to be crackling. So in order to stop that, I will be exporting the quick render. Alright, so now I have it here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the pad before I even EQ it, and then I'll just post EQ it. So let's just go ahead and move them up. Actually, let's have these up here, and then we'll just lock them. You can lock them by just pushing Shift click. And I'm just going to grab the colors real quick by renaming and enter. And then when I rename here, the color is going to be right there. This was actually not a guitar, it was actually a pad, so let's rename it. Let's bring them back to their mixer channels. And let's get back to where we're at. Oh yeah, one thing I will do is also normalize it. So I'm hearing a quick like little crunch type of sound when it starts, so I'm just gonna re-export it. I'm just gonna go ahead and record it through Edison. I'm not sure why it's acting like this on the laptop, but anything can be fixed. So let's go ahead and delete that. Let's make sure to put it on play, click the record button, make sure that your song position is at the starting point. You can just push stop to bring it there, make sure it's not highlighted, and push play. Alright, so from right here, I'm just going to click on free, make sure that it's synced well. I'm going to push 1, the number 1 on my keyboard. That way it's all snapping to grid. I'm just going to highlight it all the way to the second song jump, push Control X, and I'm going to delete the last song jump. And there's the loop. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it out. And now from here, I'm just gonna make sure to push Shift D on the piano, and I'm just gonna extend it so that way it's not over looping on the playlist. And let's go ahead and rename it. I'm bringing everything down besides the hold, and I'm gonna pick up the attack just slightly. And now let's go ahead and finish the mix. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and copy the value to the 808. Make sure that you're on your kick channel and just go ahead and add a controller. I'm gonna add the 40p controller just to sidechain it. Make sure to paste what you copied from the 808 value to the base of the peak controller. Bring the volume down here, decay up, and the tension down. Go back to the 808 volume bar and just go ahead and leak to controller. And we're just gonna go to peak on for the peak controller. One thing I will add next is just a piano melody, so I'm just going to solo this out. So the second part I messed up, but it's fine. Anything could be fixed, like I was saying earlier, so we're just going to go ahead and quantize it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the metronome on and just disable the master so the metronome's not kicking loud. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep that portion, bring the volume up. And let's go ahead and enable the master again. And now let's go ahead and lay everything out now. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust the hi-hats real quick. is pretty much it on how to create a I'll say a rod wave type beat. Wasn't really too sure what we're gonna get into today, but that's just the work process of how I do things, and hopefully you guys were able to learn some of this stuff. But anyway, if you guys enjoy the sounds used, make sure to check out the link in the description, and they'll also be popping up on the screen now. But anyway, that is all for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, comment, subscribe, give me some feedback, and I'm gonna let the beat play out now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.